The Sports Desk is wrapping up the finest highlights of the year, and we show you the best of the West, and it's not just all about baseball. Bishop Montgomery has a number of students going on to further their athletic and educational pursuits. Find out where they're going here on the Sports Desk. This Torrance Charter baseball player lends more to the game than just heat. We get personal with one of the best. Plus, it's summer here on the Sports Desk, and Torrance has one of the best sports camps here in the LA area. Seriously. Check it out on this edition and get fired up because it starts right now. Hello and welcome to the Sports Desk. I'm your host, Bonnie Prickitt. The school year is officially over, but we are going to be spending part of our summer highlighting the best moments of the year. Let's go ahead and get started. We will start with the city's Bay League rep, the West Warriors. Many of their athletic programs were experiencing a roster full of underclassmen, but that didn't seem to matter for a few that really turned out to be the beacon for the whole student body and fans alike. Let's go ahead and take a look back. There was a lot to celebrate over at West High during the 2010-2011 sports season. Some teams came out of the fog and qualified for CIF, and there was even a Bay League championship. So, from the pitch to the fantastic baseball season, get ready as we wrap up the West Warrior winning tradition of the school year. Let's go ahead and go to the gridiron first. The West Warriors had a lot of senior talent, but they also had a lot of first-year varsity starters that struggled in the highly competitive Bay League. Their league record was 2-3, and overall record was 3-7. By the end of the season, the Warriors pulled it together, winning their last two games, and the most impressive was the 23-0 blowout over Lusinger. This young team shows a lot of promise for next season, so be on the lookout. Now for a look at the ladies of the fall on the volleyball court. Jen Haney's squad lacked power and consistency, but mostly senior experience. With only 3 seniors on the roster, West went 5-17 with no Bay League wins for last place, but with 10 rising seniors, other Bay League powerhouses like Costa and Redondo better watch their back because West is ready and on the attack. On the hardwood, first-year head coach Mike Caparoso led his team to an impressive 20-11 season. Perhaps the best moment was breaking the 12-game losing streak to Palos Verdes, winning 54-46. They finished third place in the Bay League and got all the way to the second round of the playoffs, losing a very hard-fought game to Torrance 69-66. First-time head coach and former basketball standout from West, Paul Nataki, expected to struggle with only 5 returners. The season before, they were 7-19. Their goal this season was to improve, and they did with an overall record at 12-15. The Warriors realized their time to shine was at center court at the Staples Center with a 65-58 win over the Torrance Charters. Coach Paul Nataki has even higher expectation for next season. To the pitch we go, and one of the most exciting teams at the West Athletic Program has rolled out in quite a few seasons. The West boys soccer team came with 16 seniors. These seniors finished second in the Bay League with a 7-3 league record, but that didn't matter to them. What they wanted was a strong finish in the playoffs, and they did just that. After beating Loyola 1-0 in the third round, they would get all the way to the semifinals, where they took on Santa Barbara, and unfortunately penalty kicks were their demise, where they lost 2-1. In the end, though, they became a nationally recognized team by ESPN. This is a team that no West High fan will forget, especially the players on the roster. The Lady Warrior soccer team ended their Bay League season 4-5-1, and their overall record was 9-10-4, and perhaps one of the highlights of their entire season was their game against Mira Costa. And one of my favorite goals of the whole soccer season was by Natalie Argotti, who took advantage of that. They would go on to win that game 2-1, and they're looking better for next year. With new coach Corey Hans at the helm of the West Warriors softball team, things were looking good when they started the season with a 5-game win streak. although they finished with an 11-14 overall record and 4-6 in league. The best part of the whole season was how they shook up the Bay League standings, beating Peninsula 5-4 and PV 9-1. The West Warrior baseball team got the Bay League championship in style, going 9-1 in league play. With an 18-11 overall record, the Warriors team chemistry was sparked in an 8-game win streak in the last games of the season that led them to the round 1 of the CIF playoffs, where they lost the Yucaipa Thunderbirds 5-3. But this young team looks to be bringing the West Warrior baseball program back to its former prominence. And those were some of the best moments of the year that some of you guys actually emailed and voted. Thank you for that. Let's go ahead and take a look and recognize the students that are going on with scholarships, some just to play on the team, which is pretty fantastic. Robin Morioka is going to be pole vaulting over at the University of Hawaii. Kayla Mallett's going to be here locally on their track team, UCLA. Allison Levy, cross country at Cal State Monterey Bay. Rachel Gulbranson is a great club player and high school player. She's going to be playing over at Cal State Dominguez Hills. And Josh Gherardini, good at football, but he's also really smart. He's going to be a tight end on the Harvard football team. And after the break, we're going to give you another prep highlight with the Knights. Could this be the school with the most scholarships? Stick around to find out.
Along with weight loss, it's one of the many ways to fight osteoarthritis pain. For more information on managing pain, go to fightarthritispain.org.
80.
30.
50. Every mile brings us closer.
64.
Every mile in a city near you.
75.
Help us stop diabetes.
100.
Join the Tour de Cure.
60.
Register to ride.
36.
Or sponsor a rider.
50.
Call 1-888-DIABETES or visit us online at diabetes.org/tour. How many miles will you ride?
25.
Welcome back. The Bishop Montgomery Knights year was full of pleasant surprises and some really great comebacks. From the fall football season and the girls basketball team, winning was a theme. It's not just the records at the end that are impressive here, it's the number of student athletes that are continuing on at four-year schools on scholarships. Keenan Singleton brings us this year in review.
Plenty of reasons to stand up and cheer on the Bishop Montgomery Knights over the 2010 and 11 seasons. Two teams, football and boys basketball, went undefeated in Delray League play. Boys soccer and girls volleyball each made it to the postseason. But every team at the Venerable School had its share of success. Here's your Bishop Montgomery sports season in review. The Friday Night Lights, never quite as bright as they were this season at Bishop. New coach Ed Hotchkiss inheriting a senior-laden squad and promptly pushed the Knights to new heights. The offense had many stars, but just one MVP, running back Nolan Plummer. The diminutive Plummer doing his best Maurice Jones-Drew impression in 2010. The senior back racking up 2,017 rushing yards and 24 touchdowns. But this was an offense with balance. Receiver Pierre Wise caught 11 of quarterback Mark Wynn's 20 touchdown passes. The defense did its part for the undefeated Delray League champs. Christian Holloway and Cameron Jones each had 13 sacks. Bishop won its first homecoming game in 5 years, but fell to Templeton in the first round of the postseason. Now let's turn our sights to another postseason participant, Carrie Ray's girls volleyball team. A bit of a rebuilding effort for the Lady Knights as they finished the game under 500. Bria Green, some would say the Nolan Plummer of the team, led Bishop in kills and to a 5-3 record in league play in just her sophomore season. Bishop's season ending with the 3-0 loss in the second round of the CIF playoffs against La Cañada. Another black and gold team felt the season-ending sting of La Cañada in the postseason, Doug Mitchell's boys basketball team, who finished the year with a 20-7 record. 5 Knights earned all league honors, including all-CIF performer senior guard Tyler Harvey, who will play next season for Eastern Washington University. The girls basketball team also boasting 5 all-league performers, 2 named all-CIF, guard Kristen Ale and post Chelsea Aaron. As good as those two were, any scouting report on Bishop Montgomery had to focus on junior post Devin Brookshire, a lefty with a lethal all-around game. Brookshire led the team in both points and rebounds. Point guard Taylor Sansbury, short in stature, but can hit from long distance. She chipped in 7 points and 4 assists per game. With Brookshire saddled with late season injuries, Bishop finished just shy of a state championship. Look out for Kristen Ale next year at Cal Poly SLO. Let's turn the page to another night team that advanced to the playoffs, Coach Kevin Norman's boys volleyball team. The Knights' 3 seniors, Danny Gaber, Jason Malik, and Tim Carr led Bishop to the 3rd round of the CIF playoffs, where they fell to Santa Monica 3-1. Bishop concluded its season with a 13-18 overall record. Coach Andy Marafino's baseball team looking for some new stars, as Eddie McLaughlin, AJ Kissinger, Rick Hoffman, and Scott Brower all exhausted their eligibility. 2, Andy Bursinger and closer Alex DeGurgis would emerge. Each were named to the Delray League's first team. The Knights finished 3 games under 500 this season, but Bursinger and DeGurgis formed the backbone of a team that should improve next season. From baseball to softball, Jimmy Legaspi's team took its lumps after losing 3 players to the collegiate ranks. The Lady Knights with just 2 wins in 2011, but half that total came in league play. No rest for the weary, as Bishop again loses several seniors headed into next year. 3 all-league members for the boys soccer team, as Kevin Callanan, Casey Anderson, and Justin Kim led the way for the playoff participant Knights. Charles Parker pitched in 8 goals on the pitch, as Bishop's season ended on a penalty kick in overtime against Salesian in the 2nd round of the CIF playoffs. Bishop finishing the season 9-11-2 for coach Clive Holbert.
A lot of good memories and a lot of good teams over there, Bishop Montgomery. Keenan Singleton, thanks for that. Let's take a quick look at this very long list of Bishop Montgomery Knights that are on scholarship. Christian Holloway is a defensive end. He will be taking his talents to SMU. Kevin Paredes is going to be taking his football talents over to Southwest Baptist University. Nolan Plummer, quite a running back, is going to be at Cerritos College. Pierre Wise is going to be over as a wide receiver at Western New Mexico University. Carly Naramar is volleyball player, pretty good. University of San Francisco. She'll be joining some other people from City of Torrance up there. Katie Judd, by the way. And Melanie Scott is tennis champion. She's going to be at Hampton University. Tyler Harvey is going to be playing basketball at Eastern Washington University. And Kristen Ale helped bring those Lady Knights to a great season this year. She's going to be at Cal Poly up there in San Luis Obispo. And Ashton Reed is going to be playing basketball at Occidental College. Taylor Sansbury, go check her out here locally at LMU. Justin Kim, quite a soccer player, and now military man, is going to be over there at West Point. Allison Glasgow is a soccer player. She will be going to Westmont College. Jason Malik, volleyball player, is going to be continuing at SMC. Chelsea Espinosa, softball player, we told you about a few weeks back, is going to be at Simpson University. Their pitcher, Jessica Reyes, is going to be on scholarship at College of St. Mary. It's over there in Nebraska. And Maxine Vasquez is another Bishop Montgomery softball player who's going to Colorado Christian University. Congratulations to all of those athletes. Whew, that's a lot of scholarships. And especially to those athletes that might not have gotten scholarships, but you had a great year. Coming up after this break, we give you some ideas for summer, and we meet an athlete that's got more than just playing ball to put on his resume, so stick around.
Green, green, green. It's your home, it's your dream. Radon testing, keep it healthy and clean. Make it green, green, green.
Making it green starts from the ground up, so make sure the air in your home is healthy for your family to breathe. Test your home for the presence of radon. Go to epa.gov/radon.
Make it green, green, green.
Hi, I'm Hall of Famer Tony Gwynn. Keep an eye on the Sportsdesk.
And we will be meeting Tony Gwynn here in a few weeks. He was out at one of the batting clinics. Very exciting. As we jump into summer, we want to leave you with an impression of a well-rounded athlete. Anthony Condors is a name you've heard here on the Sports Desk. He helped lead the Torrance Chargers to an undefeated regular season and an impressive postseason. We met up with him. We learned that it's not just the love of baseball that motivates him. Ghazal Hassan went out to Torrance Park to dig a little bit deeper.
There's an old adage in baseball that you can never have enough pitching. But you don't need to explain that to the staff at Torrance High School. They rode the arms of their number 1 and 2 starters, Ralph Ramirez and Anthony Condors, all the way to the CIF quarterfinals.
Condors recently sat down with us to reflect both on his Tartar career and this past season. Baseball tradition starts early in the Condors household. Anthony's father was a standout player at Narbonne High School and later played in the Philadelphia farm system.
Was there an insight your dad gave you growing up in terms of baseball?
Yeah, don't think, just pitch. That's pretty much the main thing he told me, and keep my head in it because I'm a ill-tempered a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Does he kind of take notes and say, hey, did this?
He's got like a whole list waiting for me after the game, what I can do better, what happened on that pitch. So it helps me get better.
Condors was admittedly disappointed in his performance last season, but came on strong for the Tartars in 2011, leading the team in innings pitched and winning 7 games.
Again, just being a senior, you have that weight on your shoulder to carry the team, just like all 11 of us seniors, and just glad I could do my part.
Condors doing his part included a key win against El Segundo, throwing a complete game in April, a playoff win in May, and a no-hitter against Westchester in March. We talked to Condors about the no-no.
There's a lot of controversy this year about the protocol during a no-hitter. Let me ask you, your teammates, were they talking to you on the bench? Was it normal, or was it kind of stiff in there?
I was all by myself in there. They left me alone in the corner, so I asked for them to sort of. I knew I had one going.
We also chatted with Condors about some of his off-field interests, including his favorite baseball team, which it might surprise you to know is neither the Dodgers nor the Angels. Condors' loyalties lie in Citi Field in Queens, the home of the New York Mets.
How does that happen? You're a kid who grew up in Southern California. You're playing at one of the best baseball schools in the area. You're not a Dodger or an Angel fan?
Went to a Dodger game, floor seats, saw David Wright bat, and I fell in love with their uniforms, everything about them, their colors. And David Wright's my favorite player now, so gotta love the team.
Condors has another favorite team that might surprise you, but you won't have to look too far to find them.
Your favorite team at Torrance High aside from the baseball team?
Oh, girls golf. They're like mature, like older women. Like they're doing their own thing. They don't even go to practice. They practice by themselves, and they're still
very good.
Studs.
Yeah.
Condors also had high praise for a couple of his own teammates, senior Trent Gilbert and junior Tyrone Taylor.
Seeing Trent and knowing how good you have to be to play D1, it sort of gives you like a motivation, like a kick in the butt, get going, do what you have to do.
If you had to get Trent out in a key situation, how do you approach it? He's a pretty good hitter.
The change-up is outside. He can't hit off speed.
Let me talk about another one of your teammates, Tyrone Taylor.
He's the best athlete I've seen my entire life, hands down. And big expectations. That's all I have to say.
Condors also has big expectations for himself as he hopes to parlay a 2-year stint at LA Harbor College into an opportunity to play Division I baseball. For now, however, he'll just take a chance to reflect on the just completed Torrance Tartar season.
What are some of the memories that you'll have of having played for the Tartars on Kendall Field here?
El Segundo game for sure. A lot of emotion running for me, a lot because of last year, what happened. And I was just glad to throw a complete game here under the lights, the orange lights.
Now, you weren't pitching in the game, but how about that walk-off win here against Chino? Like when you guys won it late in the game, I guess it was a wild pitch, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, first pitch to Ralph with the bases loaded, wild pitch. Tyrone came across, scored. I was the first one out of that dugout to get Tyrone. And just started jumping around like lunatics. It's a good time.
So Anthony Condors hopes he has many more good times forthcoming in the world of baseball. Reporting for the Sports Desk, Ghazal Hassan.
Thanks to Ghazal Hassan for letting us get to know Anthony Condors a little bit better. Just so you know, in case you didn't, his favorite movie is A Hangover, and I'm sure his teammates know that he loves to eat pasta as his favorite meal. And you see on the screen a few of his exemplary efforts this season. He had a no-hitter against Westchester back in March, and he had a successful postseason with 3 starts and a total of 12 strikeouts. Coming up after the break, though, the city has a lot of great camps. Go ahead and keep your youngsters busy this summer, but there's one where future prep athletes are sure to shine.
When a disaster strikes, time is a killer. The UN Central Emergency Response Fund jumpstarts relief efforts, which saves lives. Help us help in time. Donate now at rapiddisasterrelief.org.
The city of Torrance is full of camps that are designed to keep your youngsters out of trouble for sure, but there's one that really gets to the heart of what summer fun is all about. The Sports Day Camp allows kiddos to get exercise, hone their skills at a variety of sports, but the best part might be just going to the water park or the zoo and the field trips. Let's go ahead and go to Wilson Park to check out the heart of it all. A perfect summer day isn't just at the beach. It might be at Sports Day Camp over at Wilson Park, where you get to make new friends, hone your skills, and play a little softball. Or
go out and play our sports. They have soccer, volleyball, cheer, basketball.
With 5 different sports to choose from, there's really not a chance for campers to get bored. We focused on softball and soccer today, and by the looks of Grant's moves, he's actually improving while having fun. Let's talk to Nicholas Mesta about what else is going on.
As well as their session of sports, we get a playground time for some leisure time to hang out with their friends. Summer's about having fun, but also doing their sport. They like to play with each other and just, be a kid during that summertime. It's not always compete.
The morning session is usually broken up with practice drills. For softball, it might be batting practice or fielding drill, where the campers hone their skills and get better in the no-pressure fun of summer camp. The afternoon is usually time for scrimmage, where they can play the day away. For more information on the Torrance Sports Day Camp, take a look at the season's catalog. You can find it online, or there's a flyer that can be found on the city website or around different city buildings. To find out exactly what week includes the fun field trips they go to the zoo, Knott's Berry Farm, the water park. You can go ahead and look there. It runs from June 20th to August 26th. Call 310-618-3720 or 2720 rather for more information. A good deal for the kiddos, and the age range is 7 to 13. And there's also some other stuff going on. This is the Youth Dodgeball League. It's open to all boys and girls in the 2nd through 8th grades as of this year. On the first class, the meeting, youth dodgeball teams, they're going to be formed by grade level at the D. Hardison Rec Center. It's located over there at Wilson Park. This league is a games-only program, meaning there are no practices. The season is tentatively scheduled to start July 9th, but you got to go ahead and call for this information. It is an 8-week season. Okay, so before we close the show, I would like to note that former Torrance Tartar golfer Jenny Shin, class of 2010, is having post-high school season success while competing on the LPGA Tour. She was one of the top 25 contenders at the Wegmans LPGA Championship last week, and congratulations. Let's take a look at the way you can help with the continued success of the Torrance Tartar Golf Program. This is where the stars of the program, like Shin, started. By the way, Chaewon Park is going on scholarship to Long Beach State. And this 12th annual Torrance High Golf fundraiser is very exciting. It is Saturday, July 23rd. and they'll be accepting applications for it well into July. And for more information, give Devin Cushy, the coach, a phone call at 310-533-4396. Leave him a message. Extension is 8080. And it's only $105 per person. It includes all that stuff you see there, green fees, range balls, prizes, lunch, and a whole bunch more. For more information on how you can get in contact with us here at the Sports Desk, you'll want to take a look at the information on your screen as well. 618-5762 is where you can leave me a message about any camps, anything else you got going on this summer. You can email us at thesportsdesk@torranceca.gov. And you can view all of our shows online at torranceca.gov. And you can also see all of our previous shows on YouTube from 2010 and 2011. And that's all we have time for today. Have no fear, we didn't forget the South Spartans year in review. That'll be coming to you in weeks. We want to make sure that you remember all the great moments from the past school year. So until next time, Torrance, play hard.